is a special video because it's been highly requested from a lot of you out there, and it's been something that I've been meaning to talk about for a while now. It's the transition from 1 to 2 kids. As you all know, I have 2 kiddos. Dash is my son, he just turned 3, and Harlow is my baby girl, and she's 9 months. And so they are 26 months apart. And I wanted to basically share with you how I felt once I found out that I was going to have a second child, and when she came, how it all played out, and what tips that I can give you that helped me make the transition from becoming a mom of 1 to a mom of 2. Okay, I'm going to be frank. You all know I'm very honest when I'm sharing, and so I'm going to start from the beginning when I found out that I was pregnant with Harlow. It was when we were in North Carolina, and I found out I was pregnant. I had a 1-year-old, and I was excited, but at the same time, I was so afraid. My first trimester and my second, okay, maybe my whole pregnancy, I really had to struggle with the idea of sharing my heart with another little one, because I felt like I just gave so much of my love, so much of my attention to Dash, and just his well-being, just making sure that he, is hitting all the milestones and he's learning, and just the amount of love and care that I gave him. I just felt like I just poured so much into him. How in the world am I going to be able to do that for a second child on that same level? And that was a really scary idea for me. So much so that I would have dreams or nightmares, whatever you want to call them, about it. I had a lot of anxiety about it, and how my world would look from now on with 2 kids instead of 1. So Dash is a very happy, strong, resilient explorer of a child, and that's him in a nutshell. And so he has done amazingly well with this whole transition. And of course he has his bumps where he gets jealous or he doesn't want to share, and when I say jealous, I mean like as far as that one-on-one mommy time. Not so much as, oh, Harlow gets to have this or Harlow gets to have that. No, he just wants to be a baby at times. So how do I handle that, right? How do I handle a 2-year-old, because he was 2 when she came, and a newborn? I shared a post on Instagram, and it was about this very same topic of how in the world do you make that transition as smoothly as possible to love 2 kids instead of 1. And the support, the encouragement, the testimonies were overwhelmingly just positive. I shared that because in the beginning it was just really hard to wrap my mind around it, and I wanted to make sure that I was intentional about still spending time with Dash and having time with him, while at the same time having a baby that was super demanding and completely reliant on me. And so there were certain things that I would do in order to make sure that happened, and so I'll share with you. One of the things that I did with Dash all the time was I sat him in my lap. I sat him in my lap to talk with him. I sat him in my lap to read to him. I sat him in my lap to cuddle. That was his little nook. And so now I have a baby, and I'm always holding her, and she always wants to be held by me, his baby sister. And so he would kind of feel a little confused about, why can't I sit in your lap? Why can't you hold me? And that right there would break my heart. And so I just had to be intentional about making sure that I give him that lap time. And I do it to this day. To this day, he still needs lap time, and I have to give Harlow to her dad or sit her down and make sure that he gets that attention and that mommy time. Another activity that I try to do together with Dash and me alone, again, that's the purpose of it, just that me and Dash time, mommy and Dash time. We'll make smoothies together or some type of meal together, whether it's his breakfast or his lunch or something. So he really likes, though, making smoothies together, and then I'll drink my smoothie and pour it out for him to drink in his little cup. And he, he feels like he's helped out. He feels like he's created something with me. He's learning in the kitchen, learning different vegetables and fruits and measurements. So that's always very, very fun to do with him, and where he can connect with me one-on-one. So instead of carrying him, which he asks almost every other day, "Mommy, can you carry me?" and carry me down the stairs and that. I'm like, I can't carry you, but we can go and have a tickle fest. So I'll tickle him, or I'll wrestle with him, or I'll just horseplay with him, and that is like his favorite thing to do. And so, that takes his mind off of, oh, mommy couldn't carry me like she carries Harlow. And it's like, no, but we have a different way of playing because you're my big boy, right? And that's another thing that I do. I give him a sense of identity that he can be proud about. And not to shut him out, but for him to really just own it for himself. And so I say that he's my big boy. I'll list like a number of positive things that big boys can do versus Harlow, who's the baby, because she's a baby. She's too young to do these things. So big boys can, have ice cream, and big boys can, go outside and ride on the bike, and big boys can, help mommy do this, so that way when he thinks of being a big boy, it's in a very positive light. And the baby is not necessarily negative. It's just he feels as if he's past that. So the baby still pee-pees in the diaper. She doesn't pee-pee in the toilet like you, Dash, because he's potty trained. Or look at that baby, she's drooling. You don't drool, Dash, huh? You know how to brush your teeth like a big boy, huh? Just things like that. And of course, when Harlow gets old enough to know exactly what we're talking about, then I won't make that type of distinction because I don't want to make her feel a certain way. But now, since she's a baby and she's oblivious to it all, it's fine. It works for us now. So that's how I'm present with him, and his dad does the same thing. So that he's getting a great balance. There are definitely still times where I engage with both of my children at once because c'est la vie. I think that it's very, very important to incorporate both of them in a lot of things, a lot of activities, and even in giving love, because I don't believe that Dash will ever remember a moment where he was living and he didn't have Harlow. I mean, I don't really have distinct memories of myself at 3 or 2. So from his frame of mind, he'll always remember having a sister and being a big brother. And so I want him to be comfortable with, going out as a family, or, doing things with his sister and receiving that love and attention on a balanced approach for me. But still, he knows that his sister is there and very present and alive, and she deserves and needs the same amount of love from mommy. This is how I spend time with both of them. We go on walks. They both very much love to be outside, and I'm so thankful for it because there's so many things that we can walk to from our home, and just walking around the neighborhood is enough for them. So I try to at least once a day get outside, given the weather, to make sure that they get some fresh air, because these kiddos have a lot of energy. Okay, that's how I spend time with both of them, and it's therapeutic for me because I get to get out of the house and kind of like allow them to do their thing a little bit and not be so rigid, in my approach to parenting. And so outside and the freedom that it provides is great for everybody. We also do dance parties. Both of them love music so much, and Harlow, she is so cute. She puts her hands up in the air. She's like, yeah. We'll just dance with both of them. We'll be like, go Dash, go Harlow. I think Harlow might have a little bit more rhythm than Dash, but just naturally. But my boy, it doesn't stop him at all. So we love dance parties. And we use on Pandora the little Disney children's station, or the Trolls kids station. So those are our favorite stations to use, and they're really kid friendly. We also play tag. So there's a little wall in downstairs area in the kitchen that Dash loves to run around. He loves to be chased. And so we play tag, and I'll carry Harlow and chase Dash around, and he absolutely loves that, and she loves chasing her brother and like spooking him and everything like that. So that's what we do together, and they both love it, and it's easy on me because both kids are happy, and so that makes a happy mama. Another thing that we do together is I will ask Dash for help when I'm doing something that involves Harlow. If I'm changing her diaper, I'm like, hey Dash, can you go get me a diaper, or can you put this in the little garbage area? Or if I'm feeding her, like, hey, do you want to try to feed her a little bit? Or if I'm holding her, like, Dash, do you want to hold your sister? Like, here, sit back, let me put her on your lap, and he loves that. He loves to be very helpful. Are there some times where he's like, no, I'm doing this? Of course. He's 3. But ultimately, he loves to help out most of the time. So those are my few little tips if you have multiples of what I do with my kids in order to help kind of balance that love, attention, and care, going from 1 to 2. Now, I have to tell you my honest moments, the moments where it's not so nice or not so happy. I want to share with you the tough moments, because there are tough moments, and this wouldn't be real talk if I didn't. So yes, there are moments where Dash becomes extremely sad or extremely frustrated because I cannot give him the attention that he desires at that particular time. He cannot sit in my lap at that time. I cannot drop everything and cater to him. And there are times when he cries. There are times where he has tantrums, and in his instance it's not that often, but it breaks my heart. It does. It breaks my heart when it happens. And I just have to understand that I'm only one person. There's not 2 or 3 of me here. And so he will be okay. This won't, scar him for life. That's how I have to think of it. And as soon as I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I'll make sure to go to him and just, speak with him and encourage him and love on him and let him know, look, mommy still loves you, but mommy was doing this at that time. So, I'm always going to make sure that you're okay. So, what can we do now that will make you happy? So that's how I look at it like that. But I can't break my neck to be there halfway just to make him happy all the time, because I'll get burnt out. I will get burnt out, and it won't be fun. It will be a burden, and I don't want to look at my children as burdens, so I just have to kind of suck it up and say, he'll be okay. I'll get to him in a minute. A lot of times what can happen when you have multiples, and especially in our case when you have 2 kids, is one parent is allocated to one child. And I try so hard not to have that happen, because a lot of times when it does, Trey's usually with Dash, I'm usually with Harlow, just because she's younger and she's just very clingy to me, way more clingy than Dash was at her age. And so she doesn't really do well with strangers or some family members at times. So that's really hard. And yeah, I have to be honest, it can be a little stressful to use the tips that I just shared with you to make sure that there is a balance. And so I will get stressed out. I will, cry. I will pray and ask for guidance, even more so on how to deal with it and not feel guilty about spending so much time with Harlow. And I just have to remember that this is a season of life in motherhood where she's going to require a lot of attention, and I can't look at it as just this negative thing or negative place to be. I have to look at it as, this is something that's temporary, and one day she's really not going to want to be sitting on my lap all day. So I just need to just enjoy it for what it is and make the most of it. Give myself some slack. And I have to share with you moms out there who are in the stage that I was in a few months back when Harlow was first born. That was a really rough period. It gets a little easier. Does it become extremely easy and just something you don't think about? No. but it gets easier. Those first few months were really tough because not so much on Dash's perspective or how he was dealing with it, but me internally. It's a lot. It's demanding. I think going from 1 to 2 is a challenge. It is a challenge. I don't know about going from 2 to 3 if there are some of you out here who have 3 kids, but 1 to 2 is tough stuff. And I think it's just because you feel like you're missing the mark somehow, or that's how I feel sometimes. And so I've been working on giving myself grace and giving myself the freedom to parent my way and not compare myself to others, or not to look to my children for affirmation. I don't know. I just have to realize that I'm their mother. I was chosen to be their mother, and I am therefore given everything that I need to make sure that they're loved adequately. And so I just kind of have to hold on to that and just constantly confirm that in my life, because you can quickly get tricked up and tricked into thinking that you are not enough, or you are out of order or out of control, and your children run you or run your life. I want to tell you that every day, I am intentional about not thinking that way. Every day, I need encouragement in order to not think that way. So because of that, I encourage you to not think that way, and to know that you're blessed and your children are more than all right. They are even more so blessed because you are their mother or you are their parent. I'm gonna stop talking. I can talk about this forever, guys. This video would be 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna stop here, but I'm gonna leave you with a question. Okay, I want you to share, because we are all a community here, and I'm so thankful for the community that you and I have created. And so I want to start a discussion in the comments below of whether or not you are a parent of multiples, and what do you do in order to make time for them both. How are you intentional about showing them that good old TLC on a balanced level? Do you have any tips? Do you have any suggestions? Please feel free to share all that good stuff, and I'll be reading it too, because let me tell you something, knowledge, information, I'm always trying to soak it up. If you feel up to it or are bold enough, share a moment that was difficult for you regarding parenting or your kids and how you overcame it. I'm all for that encouraging testimony. I'll share one with you. I'll share with you a difficult moment and how I overcame it. So backtrack to the fact that I don't give Dash a bath every night, because I'm usually bathing Harlow at the same time, because we like to keep them on the same schedule. But that really hit my core. That really just kind of made me think, like, man, I've kind of lost that intimate moment with my son for right now, for this temporary period. But what I do is I make sure every single night that I get kisses from him, I give him kisses, and that he and Harlow kiss and hug each other before bedtime. We also include Daddy, of course. Daddy gives Harlow a kiss and everything. And it's so cute, because during this moment, Dash would be like, Daddy, kiss Mommy. Kiss Mommy. And so we kiss. And so everybody in the family just kind of shares that intimate moment before bedtime. And that helped me deal with the change during this transition of not being able to spend that time with him. Just that love and that attention that we give, although brief, it's so heartwarming. And so every night I'm really thankful for that moment, because I know that I can expect it no matter what happens. Before we go to bed, that happens. So yeah. All right, y'all, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. I hope this encouraged you in some way. And congratulations out there to all of you parents who are expecting child number 2. I just want you to take this and do what you will for it. I hope that it's helpful in your life. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can stay in the loop for the next one, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.